Yo, what's your boy Ghost here, and today I'm bringing you guys another comparison video between the STG and the newly nerfed NZ-41. Now, again, I was supposed to make this video a couple days ago. Actually, I did make this video a couple days ago, but what happened is after I finished the video, literally like 10 minutes after, they actually ended up nerfing NZ-41 once again. And in my last comparison, I was literally like, yo, they haven't nerfed it yet. It's probably coming soon, but if it's not gonna happen this week, then it happened 10 minutes later, which then resulted in me making a video on NZ-41, which came out a couple days ago, as you guys saw. But there's a lot to talk about because they essentially nerfed NZ-41 twice in like a week. The STG keeps getting nerfed, and so, you know, kind of the question just ponders, which AR is the best after all these updates, and is the STG better than the NZ-41? Now, for some of you guys, you might already know the answer to this question, because, you know, you personally have used both guns and probably make your own opinions, and that's fine. I have my own opinions on it as well, which we'll get into shortly later in the video. But before we do get into the comparison, I do want to say, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 3,000. We just hit 2.05k, I believe. So we're getting closer and closer to 3,000. Every sub is greatly appreciated. And also, man, thank you guys for the just amount of support I've gotten recently, man. Like, it's been, last month was my best YouTube month, so thank you guys for that. But yeah, man, with that being said, let's get into the recoil pattern for the STG. Now, the STG has been getting nerfed for quite some time, since I believe this mid-season update for season 3. I'm not 200% on that. I do know that it did get nerfed quite significantly season 4 update, after it being the meta for like half of season 3. But then towards the end, as you guys know, the NZ-41 started getting into meta. A lot of people started rocking it, and you know, it became what it became. But the STG, man, kind of surprising nerf in my opinion. I didn't really expect this gun to get nerfed in this update, because to me, it was still a good AR, but it wasn't like I think the NZ-41 is the bigger problem. And that gun has been, I feel like, getting lacked on the nerfs. And even now, with the newest nerf, it's been getting lacked on. But anyway, for what happened to the STG was the minimum damage was decreased to 28 from 29. The muzzle velocity was decreased. The just damage multipliers for the head and neck were decreased. The Recoil mag was nerfed. The 70-60 barrel was nerfed. These are guns that I use. The other guns, like the other attachments to 60 round, which no one really uses, I would definitely not recommend it. But those things got nerfed, and so this gun in general got hit as a whole, which again, I really don't understand why it got hit, because I felt like after the season, because I know it got nerfed before this update, I just don't remember when it happened, but it did get nerfed once, like a couple of weeks ago. So for it to get hit again was kind of surprising to me, but yet here we are. And then whereas the NZ-41, this gun actually took 2 nerfs in a quite close succession. For the season 4 nerf, the burst barrel got nerfed. That was like the big thing, like the burst barrel got nerfed, but then like the Orb Weaver 360 barrel got buffed. So basically what ended up happening is, in the season 4 update, it went from everyone using the burst barrel to the Orb Weaver, or a lot of people at least switched to it. People probably still use the burst barrel, but for me personally and a lot of other people, the Orb Weaver 360 became the new barrel, and I mean, it's still pretty good. But then in this recent update, the one that came out like 2-3 days ago, they ended up nerfing the Orb Weaver and the Sacro Mag again, and just in general lowering the torso damage multiplier for the gun. Now I gotta say this: if you guys have seen gameplay, if you guys have used the gun, you would know that the NZ-41 does not feel any different than it did a couple of days ago. The nerfs did not help, and like I said in my last comparison, or the comparison that I made that didn't actually come out, this was something I suspected. I felt like it's gonna take too many nerfs for them to get it right, because it's happened before. If you guys paid attention in the Cold War era, or the integration, I guess, it happened with the FAR, it happened with the C58, it happened with the Craig, where it would literally do these little damage nerfs and recoil nerfs, and in the end it's still the same gun. So I'm suspecting that the NZ-41 is gonna get like 1 or 2 more nerfs before it's actually nerfed, which, you know, it's gonna take some time because they just nerfed it again. I highly doubt they do it again this upcoming week, but we're gonna have to wait and see. I wasn't really expecting a nerf because I thought the day of the update had passed, but I guess Thursday's the day update, so I guess we're gonna have to wait till Thursday to see if they make another change. But like I said, I really am suspecting that they will not be touching it, and if they do, it's gonna be probably like the same thing where it doesn't really feel like it got nerfed. But with that being said, man, let's just get into the NZ-41 and some stats. I never had the recoil pattern for the pre-nerfs NZ-41. Now, to be honest, I wanted to put these up just to show you guys if there was actually any change to the recoil pattern between, you know, the nerfs or whatever. And to be honest, I didn't really see much of a difference. I guess now that we have them kind of side by side, it's, I mean, listen, you guys be the judge. Do you guys really think anything happened? Then again, they didn't really nerf the base recoil pattern. It was much more the attachments that got nerfed. But to be honest, I think the gun as a whole should get nerfed because you guys can see there, and that's kind of where it stems from. Its recoil pattern is not that crazy. It used to be really crazy. If you guys are familiar with the just recoil pattern from back in the day, like it's probably one of the worst recoil patterns I've ever seen in Warzone ever. So it's actually been a drastic change from what it used to be to now. Like it's way easier now, and that's the proof of it being really easy to use. And so a lot of people, want it gone. Me personally, I really don't care, but definitely a gun that requires zero skill like this isn't really the greatest. It gets boring and everyone uses it. Eventually, it's gonna get old, and so I'm really hoping that the next nerf they actually get it right and we don't have to worry about this gun anymore. Hopefully they nerf it to the point where it's still somewhat decent, but not this good. But anyways, man, move over to the first set of stats. We got the fire rate. For the STG's base fire rate, we got a 600 RPM, and then for the NZ-41, we have a 500. Now the thing is, obviously you can put fire rate attachments, but with the NZ-41 with the burst barrel, it actually had a faster fire rate. It's very noticeable actually. The difference is very noticeable. But taking it off, it is what it is. You don't really miss it, but you can tell the difference. But you just don't really miss it. I don't know how it would be right now with the whole orb weaver getting nerfed again. So maybe it's the best barrel again. I didn't give it a try. I might have to go back to it just to see if it's better. But me personally, I'm sticking with the orb weaver. And if you wanted a little bit more fire rate, you could use the burst barrel. Again, I think you can't go wrong with it. It's just a little annoying going from burst to fully automatic. Sometimes it messes you up, or at least for me it did. Some of you guys may have it down, but for me, sometimes I get messed up. Moving over to the first set of damages for both of these guns. For 0 to 27.9 meters for the STG, we have 47 damage to the head, 38 to the neck, 36 to the chest, and then 30 to the stomach and extremities. For the NZ-41, 0 to 35.5 meters, you got 55 damage to the head, 48 to the neck, 40 to the chest, 37 to the stomach and extremities. So nothing here got really changed for any of these weapons and any damages. The only thing would be the multipliers for both of them. But that doesn't really get showcased in these damages. But they both still feel pretty strong. The STG does feel weaker like that from what it used to be. It definitely does feel weaker. The NZ-41, not at all. Like, this gun is still killing people really fast. And I mean, look, this is a clip right here that just gives you an example how good this gun still is. If you guys been keeping up with the shorts, you've already seen this one. But like, this gun just ridiculous that they claim that they nerfed it when in reality it's just not nerfed. I don't know, man. It's really interesting times right now.
What's up, bitch?
But for 27.9 meters for the STG, you got 40 damage to the head, 33 to the neck, 30 to the chest, 28 to the stomach and extremities. This is where the minimum damage nerf comes into play. It goes from 29 to 28, as you guys can see. But again, that doesn't really matter. For the NZ-41, 35.5 meters, you got 51 damage to the head, 44 to the neck, 37 to the chest, 34 to the stomach and extremities. So again, the NZ-41 remains dominant in the damage aspect and just pretty much every aspect of everything except for fire rate. But even then, I think fire rate does not matter. Like, the SCG is still, I would say, a pretty decent weapon. It's just the NZ-41 is just that gun right now. And I have still yet to try the new LMG, so I can't really say with 100% confidence that the NZ-41 is the best primary in the game. It's definitely the best AR in the game, but I don't know about the best primary. Just because I have not tried the LMG. But then again, I feel like I would see more of the LMG if it was that much better. We're just going to, I guess, wait and see a little bit longer. Because I have a suspicion that if the NZ-41 gets knocked down next week or whenever the next update is, that the LMG will probably take its place. Because I'm trying to think, like, realistically, what would be the next substitute for the NZ-41? And the SCG is a good weapon, but I don't think it's like a dominant weapon right now. Or like how it used to be. The Automaton, I don't think has it like that right now. Any other Vanguard AR really doesn't. Like the bar, maybe the bar. But I have yet to try that. And then for like, maybe if you go back to some of the old ARs, like the Craig was pretty good for me. The C58 might still be good. The XM4 might still be good. But I think the new LMG will probably take the NZ-41's place if it comes down to an actual NZ-41 nerf. But anyways, man, in conclusion, enough of the speculation. I will say that the SCG, although it's still a great AR, and I mean, you guys probably could have said this by the beginning, but it's not better than the NZ-41. The NZ-41 is still the dominant AR, even after its 2 nerfs in like a week. It's mostly just because like the SCG has also received about the same amount of nerfs. So like the NZ-41 takes a step back, but at the same time, the SCG takes a step back too. So instead of like staying in the same place, like it just keeps coming back with the NZ-41. So they kind of like remain the same level because they both get the same amount of changes. Now, if the NZ-41 gets the next nerf and the STG remains the same, then we could start thinking a little bit differently, because that's when it starts getting a little bit interesting. But until that happens, at this moment in time, NZ-41 is still the dominant AR. And if you guys actually have any other AR compressions you guys want to see, let me know, because I'm open to do anything. Hopefully, like, I can get them done before the NZ-41 gets nerfed. But I have to wait and see. But anyways, man, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.